Hey, what's going on guys, Wookie241 here, and in today's we're going to rank the Call of Duty DLC 1 maps in my opinion. So of course DLC 1 has been out for almost a week now, and I want to give you guys my opinion of all the multiplayer maps, ranking them of course from 4, which is the worst, and to number 1, and just to give you guys an overall impression on every single map. Of course this will not include the Zombies map there, Eisendrache, that may be for a separate video in the future, but again I just want to give you guys my opinion of how these maps have played out for me, what I think of them, which is the best, which is the worst, which are just not too great, and the disadvantages of course and advantages of each and every map in this DLC. So first off, just like to say DLC 1 has been an absolutely great DLC. There's zombies maps on point, the multiplayer maps, some of them are absolutely amazing, again some of them aren't so great, but of course I'll cover that in the video. And just one last thing, I'm sorry for not uploading like 4 days. I've had a really bad cold. It's the cold and flu season right now, and so again guys, I'm really sorry about that, but without any further ado, without wasting your time, let's get in to number 4. So coming in at number 4 we have Rise. So I personally, when Rise came up on the DLC trailers, I didn't really think much of it, and I thought it was going to be one of those maps where people would just miss, and I was kind of right on that. So Rise, first off, the first thing I hate about Rise is how dark and just depressing that map is. Of course we get loads of vibrant maps, we get loads of really cool bright maps like we got from Call of Duty Ghosts. It was very dark, and Rise just seems like we took a step back from all the color, as it's just basically dark with some lights, and I really don't like that color palette. I don't find it a very interesting map. But that's not the main reason why, of course, Rise is at number 4. The main reason why I don't really personally like Rise is because of the way it's laid out. So the way it was, laid out and showed in the trailers was as these 5 kind of separate areas where they all joined together in one, single section of the map where all the action would take place. And I thought that seemed like a really cool idea. I thought it'd be really cool because all the gunfights and everyone could just get there, kill each other, get killed, do whatever. But in reality, all it left was people just camping in the windows and just slaying you. And if you're in that middle part, you're dead. There's just no denying that. And I just don't find it a very good map. I find it a bit of a slow-paced map. And I don't personally like slow-paced. I don't play Call of Duty for just sitting around. And I just personally don't like Rise as a map just because of the way it just feels. All the middle action, you just get slain. And if you're on the losing team, it's just a really bad time for you. And I just personally don't like the map for the way it plays and just the way it lays out. So that's why Rise is at number 4. So coming in at number 3 we have Gauntlet. So personally I actually really do like Gauntlet as a map. It has, as I showed in the trailers, and of course with the real life we got the game right now, and I personally still like the map. So of course Gauntlet is the 3 area map. We have the snowy area, the jungle area, and the urban area of the map, and of course these kind of transition into each other. So of course you go through one area, you can just switch from jungle to ice, which seems like a really cool, and I love what they did with that. It just makes the map seem really interesting, seems really cool, and kind of stops it from getting boring. But the reason why it's at number 3 and not any higher is because I personally don't like the way it plays. It's not a very, I find the action, sensitive always in one place, and I don't find the jungle area that nice. Of course it does look great, but I just find like Gauntlet doesn't seem like a really standout map to me. It's not one of those maps where you see on the place think, oh my god, Gauntlet's there. And it's really overshadowed by the top 2. And again, Gauntlet is a great map, and I really do like it. But the top 2 maps I'm going to show you guys just really do outshine it, and that's why it's at number 3. So coming in at number 2, we have Skyjack. So Skyjack is a remake of Hijack, and they did not disappoint with this remake. It's an absolutely great remake. So they kept the core feeling of Hijacks with adding some new things to keep the map fresh and really exciting. And I really do like what they did with the map. So of course we have the wall running across the sides of the boat, and then actually in the boat, so that really adds some new features to it. And of course we have the big hole in the side of the ship, which just really adds just whole new gameplay elements, which just keep the map fresh, from the original Black Ops 2 version, while keeping that same, of course, Black Ops 2 feel with it. And that's why I think they made a perfect job with Skyjack. So Skyjack is a great map. I love the color palette. I love the way it's on a ship now instead of a boat. That's really creative, and that the name's not too creative in my opinion, but whatever really. And again, I do personally love Skyjack as a map, but the reason why it's the number 2, it still kind of retains those problems that it had in Black Ops 2. Of course, Skyjack has always been a super spawn trappy map, and you still get this with Black Ops 3, even with the addition of boost jumping, and you can actually wall run across a ship. It's still, if you're on a losing team, it can be a really bad time for you, and your KD is just going to suffer if you're on a on a bad game, suffer horrendously with this spawn trapping that's on this map. And uneven teams, it can be such a horrible time. Or on the other end of the spectrum, can be actually a great time where you can get, relentless nuclears or whatever, really. And it just seems like one of those maps where you can have a really good game and a really, really terrible game, and you're thinking, why am I still playing this? But still, Skyjack is a great map. It does have still its spawn trappy kind of routes, but that hasn't really been changed with of course, the new movement mechanics. But still spawn trappy, but still an absolutely great map. So coming in at number 1, I think all you guys know this, and you guys have got to agree with this. It is Splash. So Splash is such a cool map. I'm going to tell you why. First off, the artwork of this map. It's so bright and colourful. You got the greens, you got the blues, you got the water slides, the purples. Just like every colour you can ever think of is on Splash, and it really just brights. It's really shiny. Of course, with the new graphics update, we got the PlayStation 4. The map looks amazing for a start, but that's just not, that's not why it's number 1. The reason why it's number 1 is just the gameplay, how it looks. So of course, Splash, it's a water park. It has its underwater features, so that can lead to some really good flanking routes on the map. The map has a really big kind of like center area where everyone's in the water slides or in different parts, which just makes some really cool gameplay. And you have the, around the sides of each map, which you can just like, of course, if you want to do flanking routes again, you can do like that. And the layout of the map is just perfect for a Call of Duty map, and I think they did a really good job. 3-lane designs, you got the one side, the other side, and the other side. It looks amazing, and the gameplay is just unreal, and I can honestly see this possibly being one of the best maps in Black Ops 3 we'll get throughout the whole DLC season. I just don't know how they can top this map, and it could potentially be one of the best maps in Call of Duty history, because I absolutely love the map. And I know it's only been out for a week, so I'm kind of in that honeymoon phase of it, but I still goddamn love that map. Splash is a fantastic map. I love what Trout did with it, and it just seems like such a great map. So yeah, that's kind of my ranking of the DLC 1 Awakening maps. Again, guys, leave your ranks in the comment section down below. Did you agree with me? Did you not? Tell me in the comment section down below. And I'd honestly just like to say thanks for watching.